Hello everyone. I want to talk about images for glue books, and my definition for a glue book is a structure with pieces of paper glued into or onto that structure. So my definition is very broad and it includes all kinds of things. And I want to discuss or tell you a list of a lot of different things that you can think about for glue books. So with my definition, all kinds of ephemera and images are fair game. If it's made of paper, I consider it for a glue book. It's just the way I think. Many people will tell you that a glue book can only be done with magazine images, and that is perfectly fine. I tend to go to the other extreme, and I use everything. And I just want, this will be a list of kinds of things that you can use for glue books. So you might want to pause and write down some of those things that you want to look around for. All right, so we're going to start with the obvious. Number one, magazine images. Now, I've done a couple of live streams on detailed magazine images, what I look for, and that kind of thing. So, you want to look for images, things that are out of focus, advertising that has company logos. I look for words and numbers and faces, all kinds of stuff in magazines. Travel brochures, the same kind of thing. You want to, take a look at the pictures on brochures. You want to look at company logos, look at words. They're advertising things, so they make these pictures look really, really nice. Pay attention to all the little details of any travel brochures. Okay. Catalogs. Catalogs are great. Catalogs, again, they're trying to sell you stuff, so they make those pictures look really, really nice. Catalogs are wonderful for images. Newspapers or publications. A lot of the big cities put out publications for, a list of restaurants, things that are happening around the city, places to see, times and stuff like that. It's usually, a lot of them are done with just newspaper type paper, but you can find some really cool images and fonts. I like to save letters and that kind of thing. You can find a lot of cool stuff in these publications, and you can pick these up usually for free. So take a look. Another one is book pages. I like to use text in book pages. I like the illustrations or photographs that I can find in there. Encyclopedias are great for all kinds of different pictures. Textbooks, if you've got somebody in college and they couldn't sell back, their math book or their textbook of any kind, there's diagrams in those books. Use them for glue books. They've got wonderful pictures. They've got good text, diagrams, all kinds of stuff in old textbooks that can't be used any longer. Scrapbook paper, they've got images, they've got patterns, textures, words, text. You can find just about anything on scrapbook paper. You've got calendars, all those images, those calendars you picked just for what the images on the calendar were. We'll use those images in your glue books now. We've got color books. You can use those plain or colored in. A lot of these are really nice images. So color books, puzzle books for the kids, all those kinds of things. You've got printed images. I love a lot of my stuff I have collected and I don't find a lot of, so I will scan things. This is I'll put things on the bed of my scanner, and I will scan them in the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I can print out a whole sheet of stuff, and then I still have the originals to do with whatever I want to do with, and I can still have the images to use in my Gluebook. So it works really well. I scan everything: matchbook covers, tickets, the matches, clocks, keys. I scan all kinds of stuff, watch parts. I scan music, so it's vintage music. It had tape on it. It was really cool. I really didn't want to use it right away. I scanned it, printed it out. Now I can use the image. I have a Chinese newspaper I'm not really ready to use yet, so I just scanned a little bit of it. I printed out, use it a little bit at a time. Letters. You can use the actual letters. I have very old letters from my great-great-grandfather. They're in Norwegian. My great-grand-uncle. I scanned those for the family, and now I can print them out and use those images in my Gluebooks as well. Here's a rhubarb wine from my grandmother. Found that in her stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Scanned the image, printed it out. My great-grandmother's insurance booklet. Family photos. You can use the actual photographs. You can use photographs that you've taken of family members, things, places that you've been, just random photographs that you've taken. I like to print out my photographs on regular paper. It's easier to glue down. So I just copy it on regular paper. You can get a glossy paper. It tends to be a little bit too thick for me. I use just regular copy paper, so it's a matte finish. You can tell they're not real photographs. I do get images off online. Graphics Fairy is my favorite. You can find copyright-free images online that you can print out for artwork. So there's many places online to find that kind of thing. You can also use your own artwork. You can use pieces of your actual artwork, take a picture or scan your artwork and use a printout of your artwork as well. So printing out images is a great way to find images as well. I've got a whole basket here of stuff, so I hope I don't go too fast. So you can write things down. You can always pause. Napkins are great for images. We all love the napkins. Instructions sometimes have cool little images on them. Handmade paper. Some of the embossed paper is really cool. Crossword puzzles, Sudoku puzzles. You can do them plain. You can fill them all in, make them look really cool. You can use those. They're just pieces of paper. Keep your eyes open for different kinds of paper. Here's some Joss papers. I get these at Oriental markets usually. They are prayer papers. They're for loved ones that have passed. They burn them for remembrance and that kind of thing. Painted papers. Some people don't like to use painted papers or paint in their Gluebooks. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. I consider this just a piece of paper. I have pre-painted, so I'm not actually adding paint to my Gluebook. That's the difference in my definition. When you start adding paint to your book, it starts to be an art journal. So this is a fine line, adding paint or not adding painted paper. It's up to the personal preference that you have. So I have painted paper in some of mine. Stamped images, the same thing. Embossed images. You can go through your rubber stamps and stamp some images that you want to use in your Gluebooks. I think that's okay. It's up to you. Spirograph, those are fun to use. It's just a piece of paper with a pattern on it. Doilies, gift bags have some great designs on them. The tags that go with them, great designs. So we're getting into packaging. Here is a cup cozy. You can find all kinds of designs on those. Packaging is good. Food packaging, labels on cans, labels on wine, beer, bottles of all kinds. This is a shoelace wrapper, tea bag wrapper, chopstick wrapper, money wrappers, coin wrappers, candy, gum, chocolate wrappers, bottle labels. Here's another chocolate wrapper, cupcake wrappers. I like to use the ones that are unused. I get them in the Dollar Tree or in the baking section of the grocery store. Cupcake wrappers are really kind of cool. Packaging. This came off of a can of soda. I love the colors, love the words. It works. Receipts are good. Tickets. You can use all kinds of tickets. The tickets that you stand in line for, event tickets, tickets, lottery tickets, the thing that you punch your numbers or select your numbers with, parking tickets, online tickets, or airline tickets, movie tickets, event tickets, anything. I love numbers, so anything that's got a number on it, I'm all over it. Guest checks, that kind of stuff. Receipts and, sales orders, that kind of stuff. Dress patterns. Dress patterns are really fun to use. Also, the envelopes for the dress patterns usually have some cool pictures on them. And the instructions for the dress patterns as well. I like those. Tissue paper, printed tissue paper, patterned tissue paper. You can find tissue paper that have little flecks of metallic shine, shimmer, glitter, things like that in them. Wrapping paper. Sometimes you find images on wrapping paper, the gold foil ones, patterned wrapping paper, all that is really good to use. Postage stamps, postage cancellations. I always take postage stamps off my junk mail. I can't help it. Security envelope patterns. I save these. I love them. Every time I find one, I keep them. Junk mail, the flyers from your grocery store, they have images in them. The envelopes, the postage. Look at your junk mail. The Chinese fortune cookie papers. Those are fun to put in glue books. A lot of fun. Greeting cards, thank you notes, that kind of thing. These are usually on cardstock. Sometimes they're hard to glue down when they're on cardstock. I usually try to peel cardstock apart. It comes off in layers. If you get a corner going, you can peel it apart, and you can just use part of the thinner part of the image, so you're not gluing all that bulk down. Stickers. We all have stickers. Let's use them. Menus. I love Chinese menus. They have images, they have words, numbers, and sometimes you can find them with Chinese writing. Maps. And, think of maps as city maps, state maps, an atlas, maps of countries, anything. Seed packets are really good. I don't have any of that. The store-bought ephemera, we all buy packs of this stuff. I'm all about let's use our stuff. These are wonderful images inside glue books. And another thing is puzzle pieces, game pieces. Again, for puzzle pieces, I tear off all that cardboard backing. I use playing cards. I soak those and tear those apart matching game cards, all kinds of things have fun little images on them that you can use. Monopoly money. This is a clue. The scratch off. When you find a clue, you tick it off. Packaging inside of toys. These are the Minions. I just love the little pictures of all the Minions that you could find in these. How to put them together. Different writing on the back. You can find images everywhere. Library cards, die cuts, the paper punches that we have. Punch out some stars or hearts or whatever you have. Braille, ledger paper. If you look around you, I bet you can see all kinds of different kinds of paper that have images on them that would be great for glue books. Think outside the box. Just take a look around and look at every single thing that you handle. You'll find all kinds of stuff to use. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.